Hoger hit us up and said, what are your thoughts on neutral site games in the regular season? I personally hate them and think the Red Rivers shootout is the only one that should exist. All the other ones are downgrades over just playing the games at home, in my opinion. Your opinion is very close to my opinion. That is a game that I have an affinity for. The Red River Shootout is a game that I would absolutely keep neutral until the end of time. I got to tell you something about that in a second, by the way. I don't mind Georgia, Florida being in Jacksonville, but I also would not care if they moved it to home campuses. I don't have an attachment to Jacksonville, Florida. I know some of those fan bases do, but look, I think they may move that game on campus one day in the not too distant future. So let's watch that. But by and large, I hate them, is my point. I don't like neutral site games, and especially the ones that are not annual. So Georgia, Florida, and Austin, and Texas, Oklahoma, those are annual. Those have happened every year since most of us have been alive. Tennessee announces the other day they're going to play NC State in Charlotte to start next year. They're playing Virginia in Nashville to start this year. Blah. No, thank you. No, thank you. I was doing radio in Knoxville yesterday. We were talking about this very thing. And I was just thinking out loud, which can be dangerous at times. I was thinking to myself, I already don't like them. But then when you think about how few how few home games you get during a year in football as opposed to baseball, it makes it even more egregious. Major League Baseball plays 162 games. You get 81 of them at home. So if you want to go play a series in Cooperstown or Australia or the moon, I don't care. Because I'm not really going to miss out on much of anything. My ticket holders are not missing out on much of anything. But if you're Tennessee and you're passing up an opportunity to play a game in Neyland Stadium, or if you're Oregon and you're passing up a chance to play in Autzen Stadium, I'm not on board with that. I'm not on. There is no argument you could sell me on. Because really, here's what it comes down to. They can talk about how they want to get into another market to recruit all they want to. It's about money. I know that's a surprise to everyone, but it's about money. And the most vested interest that any entity has in those neutral site games is the neutral site. Charlotte, Atlanta, Dallas, wherever it is. Those places are the places that benefit. The fans don't benefit. Like, give me a break. Even people who live in Charlotte, even Tennessee fans who live in Charlotte, if you ask them what the better experience would be, it's driving to Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah, it's convenient, and they're going to go to the game because it's in their backyard, but that's not the experience. There's an authenticity, there's a purity about experiencing college football in the environment it's supposed to be experienced in. Don't mess with that. If you've got something that works, why in the world would you mess with it? I was listening to Sark the other day, and I forget where he was doing an interview. He was on a show somewhere, and he was talking about this game. Someone asked him about OU Texas being in the Cotton Bowl, and he said the same things about it I say about it. It's great. It's awesome. State fair, blah, blah, blah. And then someone pointed something out. They said, go back and listen closer. Did he just give something away? And I said, what are you talking about? I listened pretty close. I didn't listen close enough, though, because when I went back and listened, I caught it. He said, we still play that game. He either said, we still play it at the Cotton Bowl, or for now, it's still at the Cotton Bowl. I don't want to alarm anyone, but I'm freaking out over it. So I really hope Steve Sarkisian steps up and just says, no, I don't know anything you don't know. I just happened to say that. Because I'm ready to start a conspiracy theory that they're taking that game out of the Cotton Bowl and moving it to Jerry World, which is one of my bigger fears in life. I don't live a fearful life, but I am scared of OU Texas moving from the Cotton Bowl. So Steve Sarkisian, I'm sure he's glued to every show and every podcast. Could you please come out and clarify? Do you know that terrible news is on the horizon? And if you don't, could you please set my mind at ease and the minds of pretty much every other legit college football fan that has been to this game at ease? There you go. I'm doing the work for you guys.